Hey everyone, welcome to Bio 181 at Coconino Community College. My name is Julia Hull and I'll be your instructor for the spring 2020 semester. So I'm a PhD candidate over at Northern Arizona University, and what I research is about how plant-associated fungi help native plants cope with both climate change and invasive species. So maybe you've read Suzanne Simard's book called Finding the Mother Tree, where she talks about the ecological role of the wood wide web and mycorrhizal fungi. Or maybe you've watched the documentary film available on Netflix called Fantastic Fungi, featuring Paul Stamets. Now is a really exciting time to be a fungal ecologist because the films and books like these are getting people aware and interested in how important the roles that fungi have are in potentially solving the problems that the world is facing right now. So that's the kind of stuff that I research, but I started grad school to become a teacher. I love teaching so much. So I started formally teaching about 7 or 8 years ago when I began grad school. And since then, I've learned a lot about what kind of teacher I want to be through teaching here at NAU, Flagstaff High School, Coconino High School, and I want to bring those lessons to the CCC and to you guys. As a PhD student, I've interacted with a lot of scientists from a lot of different fields and disciplines, from a lot of different institutions, governments, literally from around the world. And there's one thing that I've noticed about scientists, whether they work for the US federal government, the Canadian federal government, a university, a nonprofit organization, or what have you, all of these scientists are professional kids. So those of us like me that have kids know that there's one question that little kids always ask: why? So scientists are the same way. Why does that plant flower when it does? Why do those cottonwoods survive when all the rest of them die during a severe drought? Or why do each of these islands have a unique species of tortoise? So in order to answer these questions, scientists conduct experiments like kids do. When I was a kid, I remember putting random stuff in the microwave all the time, much to the displeasure of my mother.
Remember, kids, the only difference between screwing around and science is writing it down.
And I think that's a good way to sum up the difference between a kid and a professional kid. Kids mess around. They put stuff in the microwave. They flip over rocks. They look at bugs. They maybe eat bugs. I don't know. But scientists collect data as they're flipping over bugs and putting stuff in the microwave. And then they publish their findings and they answer so many emails. So in this class, I want to help us remember how to be a kid and then develop ourselves into becoming professional kids. So whether you intend to be a scientific researcher or not, that those elements of professional kidness into the classroom is going to make this class much more interesting. So I can stand up in front of the class and tell you a bunch of hard names and write chemical equations on the board and make you memorize those. And there will be some of that. But by bringing in some of these elements of that kids possess and making those memorization and that terminology and those equations, we'll make it more fun. What is this going to look like in our class? There are 3 elements to my teaching philosophy that have developed through the years. The first is collaborative group work. So whatever profession that you're going to go into, there's a high chance that you're going to have to work with other humans. Whether you're nursing, or going into any kind of medical field, engineering, anything like that, you're going to have to work with other humans because that's just how our society is built. We're social creatures. So what is this going to look like in our class? So on the first day of class, we're going to play a game, and then based on that game, you guys are going to choose your group that you're going to work throughout the entire semester. This is going to be your clan, your crew, your posse, whatever you want to call it. Well, we're going to work, you guys will work together as your crew on your lab activities. You're going to compete with other teams in the class during our reviews, and you're even going to do quizzes together. Now, when we implemented group quizzes at the Bio 182 class that I teach at NAU, student success went through the roof. Test anxiety went way down. And the best part was that students actually enjoyed taking quizzes. One of my students was like, dude, this was so fun. And I was like, it was a quiz. And they were like, yeah. So the things that I like about these group quizzes is that it allows you as the students to work collaboratively with each other to solve problems. You get to teach each other and learn from each other. My favorite thing to do during a group quiz is walk around the classroom and just eavesdrop on you guys talking about these problems, working through these problems, synthesizing your knowledge, analyzing your knowledge, having a healthy debate about what the answer is. This takes the learning from the knuckle dragging rote memorization to the higher levels of thinking and reasoning, such as analysis and synthesis. So the other thing that's going to make my class different is the use of gamification in higher education. Now, a lot of you probably play video games or board games, and maybe some of you are nerds like me and play Dungeons and Dragons. So here, let's bring back this kid thing, this kidification through gamification in higher education. Kids learn through playing games. When we start preschool or kindergarten, school is playing games. But around middle school, however, that's when school stops being fun. Now there's worksheets instead of games. And so I want to bring games back into the classroom. We'll have some labs that feel like worksheets, but we'll also have lots of games too. Now, those of you who play games know that games are not always easy. And sometimes that's the thing that we like about those games, is that they're mentally challenging. So gamification in higher education won't necessarily make higher education easier, but hopefully it'll make our class more interesting. And then the last thing that I've learned about teaching over the past several years is that learning biology is better when you can do it outside. Hands-on outdoor education makes biology and ecology much more relatable to the students' lived experiences. Now, because our class focuses on cellular structure and processes, doing stuff outside might be a little bit harder, but I'm going to do my darndest to take our class outside as often as I can, as weather permitting, content permitting. I like to be outside. Being outside is better than being inside, in my opinion. So, but before we go have those outdoor class experiences, I will definitely let you know so that you can be prepared with appropriate clothing, hats, water bottles, sunglasses, all that stuff. So definitely I won't spring it on you, so I'll make sure that you guys are prepared for that. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. You can contact me through email. My email is julia.hull@coconino.edu. That's Julia, Julia, .hull, HULL, @coconino.edu. I'm really looking forward to meeting you all, and we're going to have a really fun semester, and we're going to learn some biology. All right, see you guys soon.